the absolutely insane story of Kelly Ronahan. Have you ever heard of Kelly Ronahan?
Who is that?
No? So, just another Canadian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Freaking Canadians?
Those damn maple syrup drinking
I have a story about a Canadian nurse.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, those damn Canadians.
They drink too much maple syrup. I think it has some kind of hallucinogen in it.
It all goes to their... Ooh, that would be kind of fun. Wait, isn't there a hallucinogenic...
Honey.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. But everything I read said that it's not a very fun trip. But,
yeah, everything I saw about it said that too.
So, Kelly Ronahan just seems like a normal girl, right? Bam. And she rose to her fame in 2014, all online, right? So Kelly Ronahan's from Kelowna, Canada, all right? She was born in Canada. She was a resident of Canada. And as you see her, she's just a white girl, just like a normal white girl from what seems to be a normal family background. One of the lesser known details is she has a twin sister. So through this story, you don't hear much about her twin sister.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird, especially when you hear more about the story. So Kelly was a ballet dancer and trainer, and she went to school. She was going to college before all this happened, so it was Okanagan or something like that, just like a
some
nearby
crazy
college.
Canadian name.
yeah, one of those things. And
sorry, Canadians, we love you.
She had done ballet for years to the point where she started teaching classes, right? Okay. And so 2014, she popped on the scene. This girl was all over social media, and she was talking about her illnesses. And if you go like further back from when she started picking up momentum, gaining followers, subscribers, things like that, apparently there were some posts about how she used to be a call girl, a prostitute, all right? And how she had this pimp and he would not treat her nice and all this stuff. Just very outlandish stories for the photos and images that she would post, like normally prostitutes have a certain lifestyle, a certain image, like things we expect to see around them. Well, she didn't have any of these things. She literally just seemed like your average middle-class white girl, right? So she gets online, she starts talking about her illness, and she became famous by needing weekly blood transfusions, okay? Weekly. Apparently, she started going to the doctor, and there's no specific date when, but she started going to the doctor, and every time they tested her, her hemoglobins were like dangerously low, and to the point where she needed blood transfusions. And so she would be seen at the doctor weekly, multiple times a week, and it got to a point where she was up to needing three bags of blood every other week.
What?
Like, that's a ton of blood, all right?
A ton.
So, as she's posting these stories, obviously the internet sleuths are out there, and they are fact-checking everything. They start saying, she's making these things up. There's no way. There isn't any illnesses out there that you wouldn't be able to diagnose where you're going to be losing this crazy, insane amount of blood, right?
Yeah.
And so people started calling her out for it, and she started responding, saying things like, I would never do this to myself. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. And just defending herself constantly, all right? It got to a point where I don't think I wrote down the name of the website, but there's like an MD website. Maybe it was on Reddit. I think it was on Reddit, where she would post stuff on there. People would go on and they would talk back and forth, and you get doctors on there, you get specialists on there, you get all kinds of people on there. And they're talking about her illnesses. Well,
like a forum about, medical conditions.
Yep.
I've been on those before.
Yep, it's like med something. But she was caught in 2016. So this went on for 2 years with the blood stuff. She got caught in 2016 having multiple profiles of like hopping on those forums and like sticking up for herself. Like, Kelly wouldn't do this. I know her. Like, just crazy stuff.
Gosh.
Okay. So people started to feel a little bit weird about it. The doctors were doing new tests to figure these things out every week. And it got to, by the end of 2016, per year, she had used 95 liters of blood. Like, that is a ton of blood.
I'm trying to imagine how much that is.
95 bags of blood.
Gosh.
95 people. And she got so big, the news started picking her up. She literally did an interview.
Wouldn't that equate like multiple people worth of blood?
Yes.
Like total their whole body of how much blood they have in them?
Yes.
How much does the average human body?
I don't know. I should have looked that up.
I'm going to look it up.
Go ahead. It got so bad that they ended up putting a port in one of her legs.
A port?
Yeah. You know the ports for like injecting or whatever?
Oh my gosh.
What?
The amount of blood that we have in our bodies circulating at any given time is only 5 liters.
Yes.
I thought it would be a little bit... I thought it would be more than that.
She needed 3 liters every other week. Yeah, so people are trying to figure out, like, where is this blood going? This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
She's
all
like
of her levels are
all
normal.
Of her blood.
That's what people think she was doing. They totally think that. It's called bloodletting, and they think that she was literally draining her own blood. Crazy, right? This gets so much worse, okay? But if you're not picking up if you're not picking up what I'm saying, right? We're going down a Munchausen hole here, which is insane, okay?
Yeah.
So this is Munchausen by internet. Literally. That's literally what it is. And that, as I'm looking this up and when I heard the story, I started digging into like Munchausen by internet, and there's literally a diagnosis for it now. And it's just insane how much the internet can affect us, right? So you got to imagine all the things she's doing as she's posting these. Are pictures of her in the hospital, pictures doing weird like ballet moves in the hospital, things like that. I'll post some of these pictures up too here as I'm talking about it. But so July 2016, right? And if you guys don't know, Munchausen gets worse over time, progressively and quickly worse, because there's only so much attention you can get for the same thing, right? But you get into a routine where you need this attention, so you have to escalate this thing. And Munchausen by internet, she's having like 40,000, 50,000, 100,000 people responding to her. Hey, we hope you're doing good. Best wishes. Hey, have you ever considered this? Like, like, I understand it. It's just so weird to cause that amount of harm, because 3 liters of blood, the body holds 5. She's draining over half of her body of her blood.
Over half.
Yes, that is insane, dude. So she could literally, like, her internal organs could stop at any time.
Well, see, I was trying to say a minute ago that it's really weird. Like, there's a lot of pictures of her that just popped up on Google image search, and you see like a healthy face, and then you see like a picture like this where her eyes are literally like her eyes weren't doing that before.
Yep.
And she gets all sunken in. It's like,
Yep.
she goes from looking pretty, like, very normal to, like,
Yep.
whoa, what is happening here?
Yep.
Like a meth addict or something.
I know.
It's really strange.
It is very, very, very strange. So, this is really strange, okay? So, in 2016, it's escalating now, okay? And she gets admitted to the hospital for seizures. Now, this is full-blown people questioning her at this point about the blood. It's been going on for 2 years. Nobody has found out anything. They have no idea. She claims it's MS. This isn't a symptom of MS. The doctors gave her some kind of disorder or whatever, but none of it lines up, right? So she's admitted in July of 2016 for seizures, and this prompted a whole bunch of people to organize a blood drive to save her life. However, the doctors had already started questioning her by this time.
Of course.
Okay?
How could they not?
Right. And she gets caught faking her seizures. So she's not even having real seizures. She's literally faking them, right? So the doctors send her to a therapist, and I think it's right around this time she falls off the map on social media just out of nowhere, okay? And somehow this is resolved, I guess. I don't know. But she's seeing a therapist at this time, which makes sense, because Munchausen syndrome has never actually been, it's never been official. She's never come out and said, hey, I had this and I'm working on it, whatever.
Yeah.
So she starts posting that she's having issues with eating disorders and the obsessively working out. So basically, I think when you have an eating disorder and you feel hungry, you work out instead. I think there's a name for it. There was a term for it that I was reading. I probably should have wrote it down. I'll probably post it here after looking it up. But there is a name for it. All right.
So when you feel hungry, you work out.
Yep. Obsessive working out.
I have seen that suggestion on anorexia forums.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
That's just that's like what? Masochistic, you're hungry and you're gonna put your body through more pain. Like, working out is painful. It is. Anybody that hasn't worked out for a while and then works out, it's hard during the workout. It can feel painful. It can feel irritating. You're forcing your body through things, and then the soreness after. You know what I mean? So, she's totally putting herself through pain doing that.
You know what Beyonce does when she gets hungry and she's trying to lose weight?
Huh?
Brushes her teeth.
Really?
Yeah, so I was looking at tips to lose weight many years ago. This is many years ago. And I saw that Beyonce's tips on what she does to lose weight fast, and it was she wakes up and chugs a whole glass of water, and every time she's hungry, she brushes her teeth, and it stops her from being hungry.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So
she has really clean teeth, I'm guessing, though.
Yeah.
Really good smelling breath, I guess.
So what's weird here, right? So that was July of 2016, and in early 2017, she has her port becomes infected, right? And this is when she's talking about her eating disorders and her exercise obsession through her Instagram account, where she's still gaining more followers. And the doctors moved her port to the other leg. Well, that port becomes infected now too, okay? And she again supposedly has more seizures, but there's only certain things posted about this, right? Okay, so there's only so much information that you can get. Well, she once her port becomes infected, okay, she gets these weird spots on her legs, and it's almost like a sepsis type spot where her leg is becoming discolored,
like a
or
staph
whatever.
infection?
Yep.
Ooh.
And so she has that she's dealing with, right? Well, she goes to the hospital, and why that's important is because her symptoms now change, right? So she's been doing the whole bloodletting thing now. And then she has her legs that she's now dealing with, and she goes back to the hospital. And you know what's funny is in April of 2017, her hemoglobin levels are just fixed when her leg issues start. So now she has something else to give people attention on Instagram, and now she has no more blood issues. So that's how people are making these connections to Munchausen and figuring it out, right?
Yeah.
So you drop one and pick up another, okay? Well, April 2017, she falls off social media again. She just goes absent and then pops back up in early 2018. And she claims that in 2017 her legs healed, but now her leg condition has reappeared. And dude, I don't know if you can pull up a picture of it. I honestly don't want to look at it. It'll make me not be able to focus on what I'm doing. But I can describe it to you, okay? So, in 2018, she starts having these spots all over her legs, literally everywhere, from her hips to her toes. Her blood is miraculously healed. There's no more issues there, but she has these spots, and she takes videos of herself itching and picking.
Oh.
Yes, and they get worse and worse and worse and worse until her legs are swelled like this big, all right? Like massive, like bigger than her waist. She literally can't walk. It's to the point of not being able to walk. Now, people speculated online, get this. People speculated online that what she was doing was taking poop and injecting it in her legs to create these abscesses. And her picking was so bad that in one of the videos she posted, she can be seen, oh, I almost gagged, pulling a nerve out of her leg.
How is that possible?
What do you mean?
You can pull a nerve out of your leg?
Yes, as long as the picking is deep enough. And like, dude, these pictures are gnarly, so gnarly that if you're listening to this right now, you're not going to see images of them. Maybe I can. Maybe I could post like a super PG like image of the outline and blur it or something so you can see what I'm talking about.
Link.
But like,
you could post a link.
Ooh, it is gnarly. It is so gnarly, right? And this gets worse and worse and worse. So she essentially goes through like 2 full years of this to the point where she focuses on one main area on her leg, and both of the legs match it. And what the internet sleuths were finding out was she didn't have any spots anywhere she couldn't reach.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
Right? And like this girl, what's crazy is this girl had everything going for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was young. She was good looking, like not my type, but good looking. Like there's nothing on her that would make her seem like out of the ordinary, not be able to get a guy, whatever. She was doing her ballet. She was a ballet instructor. She was doing something she loved. Like she had literally everything going for her, okay? And Munchausen got her. Well, this continues to the point where she can't walk. She's now in a wheelchair, all right? And so this goes through mid-2017, escalates to 2018. In 2018, she has a skin graft done on her legs.
Is this real?
Yeah, she has a skin graft done on her legs, on those parts that you're seeing right there. Like she has an insane amount of work done on her to try and fix this, okay? Now you got to remember, this is Munchausen. She had everything going for her, right? And she literally couldn't stop. The Munchausen had full control of her at this time. Now, in 2019, what's interesting for me is like the mental aspects of it, of what she's thinking. Like, I don't think that she ever understood what she was doing, that somebody so healthy felt so much satisfaction from the people online to harm themselves this bad. You know what I mean? And like, this is bad, where you need a skin graft, where she makes multiple comments that her legs stink. Like, she can't go out in public because her legs stink.
They're like rotting off her body.
Yes, her big toe literally falls off. A chunk of it is like off. This is how much she harms herself by picking and injecting whatever is causing this. It could be poison, it could be anything, right? But the signs are all there. If it was an actual disease, it would be all over her. It wouldn't only be where she can reach, you know what I mean? Well, 2019, it comes to a head, okay? So she picks herself so bad, and like, I can only describe it as like, she literally knocks on her legs, like the damage she's done, and it sounds like that. Like, it is so gnarly, and it's, for you guys, I can't show a picture of it, but it's from like the middle of her calf to like the start of her upper thigh. But she damages and picks herself so much that the surgeons amputate her legs. Dude.
She was a ballerina.
She
lost her legs.
A ballerina. She was a trainer. She was going to school. And she let the attention of the internet drive her so much that, you know, she lost her legs. After the surgery, she posts one last video of her like crawling up the stairs, and I'll post a couple clips here of it.
What?
At her new house, now in a wheelchair, and it's weird. It's just a creepy video to watch. It is crazy. I was blown away by this, at the power that the internet can have. You know, none of these people were actual people that she had in her life. She actually had a twin sister, and I guess her twin sister didn't call her out for this. I don't know. I mean, I would have 5150'd somebody, you know, a family member, if I felt like this was going on.
That's what I'm confused about. Where's her family? Like, why weren't they like, hey, dude, like, because I feel like you would know. Like, you would figure it out a lot faster than people on the internet would, being close to that person, unless you just don't care.
I don't know. But I think this stands out. Like, it's something that people need to pay attention to, because for whatever reason, we feel like it's okay for us to support like these really gross things online, like cat in a blender, or somebody who's clearly not mentally stable and is harming themselves.
Like Eugenia Cooney?
Yeah.
Anybody?
I don't know who that is, but
that's the really, really skinny girl on YouTube and Twitch that has been on there for years and years and years.
I can't think about that. Yeah, I can't think about that. But yes, because that stuff just grosses me out. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want anything to do with it. Well, one thing I forgot to say is there was one video where, like, if you watch a lot of her videos or look at her pictures, she's like over the top happy. And there's this one video right before she's getting the surgery that everyone that watched it felt like reality hit her. Like, oh, this is what I did. You know what I mean? And at that point, the doctors said her legs couldn't be saved. The amount of picking and damage that she did to herself to get attention online, her legs literally couldn't be saved. It's not like this girl went in there and said, hey, I want you to remove my legs. Like, she harmed herself over and over and over and over for like 10 years, man, to the point where as a ballet dancer, she had her legs removed. It's just one of the saddest stories I've heard, and it absolutely blows me away. And it's just something to be aware of when you're on the internet, because it's too easy to look at these stories because they get attention. But I think it's equally important that people go out of their way not to give these things attention.
Yeah, I mean, if it's all, I mean, there's a lot of people who go on like TikTok and they talk about like whatever health conditions they're suffering from. And that's all well and fine, I guess, if you're looking for support.
I won't respond to anybody about that because I have no way to verify it.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, if they're out there like, oh, I have this problem, donate to my GoFundMe, like...
I don't think she got any donations, so that clearly wasn't what it was about. It was a blood donating.
Oh,
it was a blood drive. Yeah.
So it was just attention.
Like, it was literally just attention. It was Munchausen. Like, it is literally Munchausen. I'm not saying that because it's funny. That is literally what it is.
Yeah, but like in the case of that one girl of Munchausen by proxy, her mom used her...
Yeah, that's by proxy.
Yeah, but used her illness to get them like a house and like get them money and, you know, like she used it for attention but also to get things.
There's Munchausen and then there's Munchausen by proxy, where, you know, the person is using someone else to benefit themselves, whether it's attention, whether it's money, whether it's whatever. They cause not self-harm, but harm to that other person, where something was driving her to, you know, cause self-harm in this, to the point where she gave up the one thing that probably brought her the most joy, you know?
So do these people with Munchausen really think that they are sick? Or do they know what they're doing is wrong and they're not actually sick?
I don't think that's ever the case for any mental illness. I think it's all a mind game. There might be some realistic, conscious understanding, but I also don't think that these people will think that it's real until, like, your legs are gone now.
Yeah.
They're gone. And she hasn't been back on the internet since. Not a single post after that.
So after she got her legs taken off and... Wait, you said she was crawling up the stairs.
Yep. That was the last video.
And that was the very last thing. Wow.
Yep, which good. I'm glad. I hope she's seeing a therapist for this, and the therapist is like, yo, you cannot go on the internet. This is gonna make you start doing things again, and we gotta get you well. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the internet, I'm sure, would be a huge trigger.
Yeah. I mean, it is the trigger that's causing it, so, yeah. Wild, man. I'm curious what you guys think about it. I'd love to know if you've ever encountered someone that's had Munchausen, and what your experience was with it. These things just blow me away from the psychological aspects of it. The commitment here, it went on years. It was years of self-hate and self-harm. And it just makes me think, like, where were the people around you, you know?
Yeah, especially with a twin. That's really crazy.
I know.
I feel like a twin would be able to tell, like,
that's
unless
what I
her
would
twin
think.
is super mentally ill in some other way, I guess.
Yeah, not to mention, like, there's only so much I can feel bad for this, too, because, like, you know, there's been blood shortages through the years, and she used 95 liters of blood. That's enough for like 20 people, 20 full bodies of people of blood.
Yeah.
all while she was just doing bloodletting and letting it out of her body and then injecting herself with who knows what to cause these things, which ultimately led her to have her legs removed. And this is in Canada, where they have the healthcare system that's paid for. Like, how many people got pushed back behind you because you were doing self-harm? You know what I mean? So, like, at the same time that I feel bad that she now has to live without legs, like,
yeah.
you did it.
I didn't even think about that.
You took advantage of the system.
Yeah. By taking advantage of the system, who did she hurt unintentionally?
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
For sure.
Let me know what you guys think. The story of Kelly Ronahan.